Alrighty, well I've had the Nexus 7 for about a month now, and I think it's finally time for me to give my input on it. I think I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Bottom line, this is a tablet I would recommend anytime, any day to anyone who's looking for a tablet. I mean, they start off at $199, it's got a quad-core Tegra 3 processor, a gigabyte of RAM, basically means it's really fast. Battery life on it is amazing. I have, let's see how much battery life I have left right now. Got 18% left now. Can't remember the last time I charged it, so let's see here. Battery. I haven't charged this thing in 5 days. Now, I've been using it on and off, but yeah, it's been on the same charge for 5 days now. Battery life on it's incredible. The screen on it is amazing. 1280 by 800 resolution. Other things too, like Android on it. It's Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, so it's the newest version of Android. Project Butter makes this, that's what they call the 60 frame per second feature of Android 4.1. Really smooth, there's no lag going through the operating system at all. Really great tablet. I'm not going to go too in-depth, like testing it out with like movies or, you know, giving like official battery tests, you know, leaving the video looping. Just take my word for it, battery life is awesome. I use mine mostly for two things: browsing the internet and video games. And what makes it even better with video games is Android tablets have the ability to have you pair a DualShock 3 controller to them and use them as a game controller, because we all know if you are a true gamer, you do not use touchscreen controls. So, let's see here. What would be the best way to test this out? Yeah, I got like every version of Angry Birds on there, even Amazing Alex. That game's halfway decent. Didn't take too long to beat, though. What shall we play? Let's play the original Nintendo. What do we got here? Oh, we have to turn on the controller first. That's right. We'll go to 6-axis controller. That's the name of the app I use. I think that's the app to use, if I'm right. Change the input method. Turn the DualShock on. Yep, controller just vibrated, so it's connected now. Alright, so let's go back to the emulator here. These are the same emulators I've had on my Xperia Play review. And in general, the games on here perform much better than the Xperia Play, obviously, because you've got a processor that's literally about 4 times as strong. Like, for example, Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo 64. I remember back in my Xperia Play review, it was playable, but had some dropped frames. The HUD was missing. I played Diddy Kong Racing on here. Almost perfect frame rate, and the HUD is there. It's completely playable. The other thing is you can't use a DualShock with Nintendo 64 games. You have to use something like an iControl pad or something like that, which I do own one of those, but I just didn't include it here for the sake of the review. I'll show you how N64 works with like the virtual controls at least. Let's play Mega Man. Okay, so I already had a save game apparently. Let's restart, because I don't want to play Airman. Let's see if I can get even more fancy here. Let's see. Yeah, that'll work. I can stand it up with the case there. Now I can play it with the DualShock controller. Let's do Quick Man, because his stage music is awesome. Yeah, if you get a Nexus 7 and a DualShock 3 controller, perfect gaming partnership. And nearby apartment just like slammed the door. This part isn't that hard. I don't know why everybody says Quickman stage is so hard. It's actually pretty easy. Alright, so that's about all I really need to show. I mean, as you can see, it runs flawlessly. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So it takes like 10 million hits. Take that. Alright. So we'll exit that. I said we'll exit that. There we go. Let's try Super Nintendo. There you are. And Mega Man X. Oop, I had a save on the beginning there. No, not close it. I wanted to reset it. Stop it. Reset. There we go. Tilt it this way so you don't have to see my ugly face in the reflection. Tilt it down a little bit. Should have done that before. That's what I get for thinking ahead. So I got the DualShock paired up with this too. Let's turn the volume up on it a bit. Alright, Mega Man X. I love being able to use the DualShock 3 controller with these games. It's like magic. There's no wires. Ah, the sorcery. Most Super Nintendo games play pretty flawlessly. As you can see, Mega Man, not really any problems with the frame rate or any graphics missing, anything like that at all. Sound is spot on. Yeah, not really anything wrong with this. Can't complain. There's a couple games I haven't gotten to work right, though. I'll show you what I mean. We'll exit Mega Man. And let's go to Donkey Kong Country. This one I can't get to work. I don't know if this has to do with the fact that the emulator hasn't been updated since Jelly Bean was released. But see, that right there, that's pretty much the last you see of the game. It's not... Oh, you can hear it. But I'm hitting start. I don't think it's actually progressing in any menus or anything like that. So... Oh, apparently I did just start a game. Okay. But I can't see anything. So, this would be good if you like... Oh yeah, see, I'm in the first level right now, I could tell. This is if you're a fan of the Invisible Donkey Kong series. Me personally, I like being able to see what I'm doing. Unfortunately, the same issue seems to apply for Donkey Kong Country 2 as well. Super Mario RPG, did I try that? Let's see if that works. Let's see... Oh, it's loading. Uh-oh. Looks like it quit. Alright, so it crashed. That might have had to do with Donkey Kong Country. Let's try it one more time. There we go. The Donkey Kong Country seems to screw up the emulator entirely to the point where it just... Whoa! Glad I got a case on it. That's one for the blooper reel. This game seems to be running great. Huh, I got a save game already. That probably carried over from my Xperia play. But, we can at least see the frame rate and whatnot. I don't want to spoil it and go to, like, the last boss right now or anything, but, yeah. Everything seems to work pretty much just fine. So, yeah, some games work, some games don't. Now, let me show you Nintendo 64. There we go. You can't use the Bluetooth for this, and it thinks I just typed the number 5. That probably had something to do with me hitting one of the buttons on the DualShock. I was talking about Diddy Kong Racing before, so let me try that. And... Oh, you don't want to be rotated this way. Well, fine then. I don't like you either. The earlier launch titles like Super Mario 64 work just fine, but then again, Super Mario 64 works on pretty much any N64 emulator out there. Can't skip this, unfortunately. Oh, and you can see it pretty well in my reflection, so I know a lot of people have been asking, Tweeterman, are you losing your hair? No, I just gel it up now, so hopefully I can put that to bed. Oh, and by the way, I'm not leaving YouTube either, that's also a rumor. Just felt like throwing that out there too. Alright, so the frame rate, yeah, definitely compared to when I did the Xperia Play review, whoop, frame rate is definitely better on here. But again, the hardware is a lot better in this tablet too. I'll go in a race and... Yeah, I don't have my Xperia Play anymore, so I can't show you like side by side the difference. But I remember when you started a race like here, there was definitely a frame rate drop. Here, it's pretty much non-existent. And there's the fully working HUD. A few frames dropped as the race gets going, but as you can see, it's completely playable. So if I pulled out my iControl pad, paired it up, I'd be good to go. Yeah, the N64 emulator is compatible with 6-axis controller for Android. It's only compatible with Blue's IME, which does iControl pad support. I say too much. Oh well, so that's that. We've tested out all the emulators, as I say yet again. Let's see here. Yeah. Then again, yeah, 10% left. I only did put it on the charger for a few minutes before this review. Netflix works great. Like I said, I'm not really going to go into testing out movies. I mean, what sort of test with a movie? The screen's awesome. It plays great. There you go. That's pretty much it. I also got Sega Genesis on here, Game Boy. Got Firefox on here for the Flash support, because it comes with Chrome preloaded, which means no Flash support. And actually, starting as of right now, Adobe doesn't let anybody download Flash from the market anymore as a new download. If you already had it, it'll keep updating with like security and bug improvements and stuff like that, but I guess they really just don't want anybody using Flash on Android anymore. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I could probably go on and on with all the different things this can do. Oh, stupid me. I forgot one cool thing that it has with Android 4.1 is the Google Now function, where Google's promising stuff with Google Now where it can basically keep you updated on things without you really having to do anything about it. Kind of hard to explain, I know. For example, let me turn this off so it doesn't kill my battery. For example, I was bringing this to and back and forth to work, for a few days, and my tablet seemed to pick up on that habit. So in the morning, in my notifications bar would be a thing with the weather telling me what the weather's going to be like today. It's a really short drive for me to work, so it didn't say anything about traffic, but yeah, it was giving me my weather right there at the beginning, so that was pretty cool that it was doing that. So Google Now, if you've seen Siri for the iPhone, then again, who hasn't? It's pretty much that, but I think it goes a little bit of a step beyond. I could ask it something crazy like, what's the cast of The Office? Yeah, and see, there it is right there. Before it was actually speaking to me like the cast of The Office is Steve Carell, John Krasinski, stuff like that. So it's interesting that it brought up a Google web result right there. But let's try it with something else. Who is the CEO of Apple?
The CEO of Apple Inc. is Timothy D. Cook.
There we go. Or I could do, what's the weather going to be like in Las Vegas on Saturday?
The forecast for Las Vegas on Saturday is 100 degrees with a chance of storm.
So yeah, it is pretty cool. I could ask it something, if I need to pick it up and ask something real quick, like, I know Siri does this too, but just showing that Google Now does this too. How many cups are in a quart?
1 U.S. quart is 4 U.S. cups.
What is 67 times 42?
The answer is 2,814.
Thank you, Google. And something cool I discovered, I actually didn't know that Android versions, I think they've been doing this since Android Gingerbread and upwards. They have these little Easter eggs in the settings, where if you go to, where is it, About, and you see the version number, Android 4.1.1. Since this is called Android Jelly Bean, if you keep clicking it, you get a full screen picture of a jelly bean, and then if you long click on it, you get a little mini game where like the screen is filled with jelly beans and like you can flick them away. I've tried to flick them all away, but see, like they start coming back. So I don't know why I don't know why I felt like showing you guys this. Is just something interesting, little Easter egg that they have in Android. Here, I'll show you. I have my phone next to me, a Galaxy Nexus. First, let me put it in airplane mode so I don't get any text or anything while I'm showing you this. Okay, there we go. Like with Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, if you go into the settings, About Phone, tap the version number, get this picture of Lloyd in an ice cream sandwich outfit, and if you long click and keep holding, he gets bigger, and then you get a full screen animation of kind of a Nyan Cat style thing, except with Lloyd and ice cream sandwiches. So, alright, I'm going off topic here. I just wanted to show you those Android Easter eggs. So that's about all I could say for the Nexus 7. with the price point, I would say go with the 249 model for 16 gigs of storage because it doesn't have a micro SD card slot, so you can't upgrade the memory at any point. So I would say skip the 8 gig for $199, go straight to the 16 gigs for $249. 16 gigs still might not be enough for everybody, and that's probably one of the biggest downfalls of this is no expandable memory. Some people complain about the fact that there's no camera on the back, but you know, then again, let me take it out of the case so you can see the tablet better. Then again, do you really want to be out taking photographs with your tablet? I mean, if you have to take a picture of something in an emergency, I guess it's okay. But just walking around like this as your camera is kind of weird. Just look at anybody who takes a picture with an iPad. The tablet itself is really sleek though, really thin. It's got like a nice rubberized back with Nexus there. There's the speaker right there. I better end this video before I just keep ranting blah 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 and whatever. So that's about it. Definitely would recommend it. If you're in the tablet market looking to buy, Nexus 7 is your guy.